guys, it's Danny and welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you can see, I'm in a different location than normal, and that is because I am in Philadelphia, moving back home to California. Yeah. Basically, I've been living in Delaware and now I'm not gonna be living there anymore. So, here we are. I also apologize, there's going to be no kitty today. My dad and sister took her back home early because I'm going to be busy and don't want to travel with Kat. So I apologize. She will not be making a feature of this video. Oh my god, what are you doing here? It's like she's actually here, you guys. Look how realistic. This is definitely a picture of Shadow and not some other random black cat. Yeah. Anyways, today's topic is going to be what to do when you don't feel like doing anything. So the reason you probably clicked on this video is because you feel tired, you feel burnt out, and yet your mind is telling you the entire time you should be doing something, you should be doing work, or you should literally just find anything to do that's remotely productive. So what I find happens when I'm wanting to do something but don't feel like doing shit is I'm experiencing this feeling of apathy mixed with stress. So you get stressed because you feel like you should be doing something, but you don't really feel like doing anything at the moment, and then you become apathetic to avoid the stress. Oh, I'm just going to sit here and do nothing. But then, in the background of your little monkey brain, there's the stress still nagging you, like, do something different, like, this isn't getting you anywhere, you're wasting time, you're wasting your life. And so then you force yourself to do something, and because you have to force yourself to do it, and you're just doing it for the sake of being productive, you burn yourself out, and then you become apathetic again. And then you get stressed because you're apathetic and not being productive. And I highly suggest before or after watching this video that you check out my previous video, Why You Have No Energy, to understand more about this cycle, and also to understand why you are burnt out in the first place. Alright, but let's get to the good stuff. What to do when you don't feel like doing anything. So in terms of what to do, there are psychological aspects of what to do and physical aspects of what to do. I'm going to start off on what to do in terms of your psychology or in terms of your perspective, because you will need to apply these points into the physical doing points. Capiche? So, what to do in terms of perspective. Number 1. Be gentle with yourself. As I said, stress rules the cycle of apathy. When we are relaxing, when we're doing something that's like just taking a load off without anything that we consider to be productive, we tend to stress ourselves out because we perceive productivity as something that is a representation of our worth. So, the question is, I forget what I was talking about. So often when we attach our productivity to our sense of self-worth, we tend to be really hard on ourselves when we're taking a break. So for example, if I'm sitting down and watching TV, I'm trying to fully enjoy the experience of watching an episode of Rick and Morty, right? But then there's this voice in my head telling me, you shouldn't be doing this, you should be doing something productive, you should be editing a video, you should be doing homework, you should be and this voice is basically making it so in your relaxation time, you're just stressed over the fact that you aren't doing what you think you're supposed to do. So in a time where you could be recharging, instead you're just stressing yourself out more, which is gonna suck out all your energy. When you rest, when you're taking a break, consciously appreciate yourself for doing so. Honor your body and honor that when you do need to take a break, when you do need to rest, that's a good thing. And as someone that is programmed in a society where you have to go, where you have to be productive, allowing yourself to rest and loving yourself because of it is a brave thing to do. Because we are taught that allowing ourselves to rest and take a break could mean really bad things for our future and our survival. So when you start to be gentle with yourself, appreciate yourself, and give yourself the space to make mistakes or not be as productive as you think you should be, you start to build a better relationship with both work and productivity and rest. Number 2, take baby steps. When we don't feel like doing anything to the point where we're basically doing nothing all the time, we get so overwhelmed by the whole task we have to complete that we can't even get ourselves to start it. So for example, let's say you have to write a 10-page essay and it's really stressing you out, so psychologically your brain is trying to escape the stress of the situation by not doing it and procrastinating it, which is therefore only agitating the stress. So when you actually have to write this 10-page paper last minute, you're going to freak the fuck out. Or that's the only way you can get yourself to do it, and then it's it works, but then you're just stressed all the time. So instead of going into it with the mindset, Why are cities so loud? So for example, let's say you have a 10-page essay to write and you are really stressed out, and so you are avoiding this task altogether. Instead of thinking of it as, oh, I have to write that essay, I have to write that whatever, break it up into smaller sections. Okay, I have to open my computer. Okay, I have to open a Word doc. Okay, I have to write one sentence. Basically, you can break up these big daunting tasks into little easy bite-sized pieces. When you take your baby steps, not only does it take the pressure off, but it creates this sense of reward. If you appreciate yourself for opening up a Word document, if you appreciate yourself just for taking the little initiative steps, you're building a positive relationship with productivity instead of trying to use negativity to force yourself to do it. It's like the person that's hating their body and using that as a motivator to go to the gym. Whenever they miss a gym day or whenever they don't eat well, that person is going to hate themselves even more, and then it's this cycle of not going to the gym and then getting mad at themselves, and because they're mad at themselves, they don't go to the gym. It's like weird. It's counterproductive, even though in our society we've been taught to think negatively to get ourselves to do something that's good for us. I am going off topic, but I'm also going off, so there's that. So focus on what's easy, focus on what's positive, focus on what aspects of a project you do enjoy, and appreciate every step of the way. Don't overlook you accomplishing something just because it was the easy part of the task. Number 3, feel your emotions. Apathy can be a way to avoid or dilute stress, and stress can often be a way for us to avoid feeling the deeper emotions beneath that. It's an automatic response when we've learned that the emotion that we're actually feeling isn't okay. So for example, if my entire life I've been taught that anger is bad, anger is unreasonable, you shouldn't be angry at other people, then when someone disrespects me and an aspect of myself is getting really angry, because I've taught myself that those feelings and that aspect of myself isn't okay, that anger translates into an energy form that I am more able to accept, like anxiety. And this is obviously a hard point because oftentimes when we don't feel like doing anything, we know that there's underlying emotions, but we're disconnected from them. They're kind of far away, so we can kind of be aware of them and maybe start to feel them, but they don't fully emerge. It can take time to really access this emotion when you've been suppressing it for so long. But when it does start to come up and you have the opportunity to hold space for it, I urge you to break the typical cycle of pushing it to the side and allow yourself to feel it without judgment. If you feel the need to cry because you're stressed out or because you are very upset that you're not able to get yourself to do anything, let yourself cry. Feel these emotions and love yourself. Beach. And the last thing to do in terms of psychology or perspective is number 4, change your definition of productivity. What I mean by this is change what you define. Thank you. What I mean by this is change your definition of what you deem to be productive. Oftentimes, we will deem something productive only if it's working towards our career, or only if it's something that's hard to do or we don't want to do. So start considering your everyday tasks to be productive. I made my bed this morning. I brushed my teeth. I did my laundry. I made myself breakfast. When you start appreciating the things that are already habitual, when you start appreciating what you're already doing on a consistent basis, you start to see that you're actually doing more than you think you're doing. We live in a world that defines productivity in a specific, narrow way, but you really have the ability to create your own definition of what is productive. When you see yourself as a productive person and a person who does things that are productive, it's going to be easier for you to take those actions because you are already embodying that energy. All right, now that we covered the perspective things that you can shift to figure out what to do when you don't feel like doing shit, it's time to get into the physical, literal, tangible things you can actually do when you don't feel like doing anything. Number 1, relax. This can be taking a bubble bath, this could be watching TV, this could be playing video games, this could be getting a massage, this could be listening to some nice, chill music. Basically, whatever makes you feel calm, whatever helps you self-soothe. And the most important part of this step is to love yourself because of it. Let yourself be in this state of ease without telling yourself that you should be doing something else. When you're trying to relax, but there's a voice in your head that's nagging you and telling you that relaxing isn't good, or that you're wasting your time, or that you should be doing something more productive, or that you've rested for long enough. What's happening is, in the state where you're physically trying to relax, mentally, there's this voice in your head that's nagging you and stressing you out, and so you're not actually relaxing. The absolute worst thing you can do when relaxing is to hate yourself while relaxing. You have to be gentle with yourself, or relaxing is just going to be a loop of you being stressed out for no reason. Number 2, reflect on how you feel. This can look so many different ways. You can journal, you can talk to yourself, you can meditate, you can talk to a friend. If you can talk to a therapist or a life coach. I know if you don't feel like doing anything, maybe this point won't necessarily be the most attractive one to you. How you do this is really important. Be brutally honest about how you feel. Especially in the spiritual and self-help community, people are telling you all the time that you have to feel good, or that negative emotions are like bad and you need to like transcend them. I want you to be brutally honest about the negative emotions that come up and the positive ones that come up. The most important thing you need to do is not let one emotion invalidate the other. Two emotions, two viewpoints, two ways of thinking can exist within you at the same time. These two aspects of yourself, these two viewpoints can contradict, and it seems like they can't exist at the same time. But what I want you to do is not use one voice to invalidate the other. I want you to let one voice fully express itself and to let the other fully express itself. So for example, let's look at this through the lens of productivity. This is the one that wants you to be productive. This is the one that's ambitious. This is the one that wants to get shit done. This is the one that wants to relax. This is the one that wants to take time to itself and it feels tired and burnt out. You perceive this one, the productive one, as good. You perceive this relaxing one, the less productive one, as bad. So what I want you to do when you explore your feelings, the one that wants to rest, let that one fully explain itself, fully express how it feels. And when you let this one, the productive one that you deem as good, to fully express itself, don't use this as a tool to step all over and shit all over this one, the one that's unproductive. That's what you've been doing your whole life, and it doesn't fucking work at all. Sorry. When you explore your emotions, you have to allow everything and accept everything. I know that's easier said than done, but that is how we start to take steps towards the mindset we want to adopt and embody. Number 3, change your environment. This can be as simple as moving from your bed to the couch or to the backyard. Or you can take this as going on a walk, going to the park, and my all-time favorite, going on a drive to nowhere. Especially in the middle of the night, that's the fucking best. And this can even be doing some chores to declutter your environment and make it a different vibrational space. The sounds of the city are really annoying. I don't know how I could live in a city. So one thing that is good about this point is when you change your environment, you are leaving the vibration of one location and stepping into a different location or into a different place, and therefore you have an opportunity to shift your vibration as you shift your location. We can be like sponges, energy sponges, and we'll kind of reflect the energy that the environment reflects to us, and then our energy also informs that environment. So if you are stuck in bed all day and feeling super groggy and like not doing anything, literally just being like, okay, I'm gonna get up and I'm just gonna sit in the backyard for a little bit. That can be a bit of a reset button. When you get to that location, you don't have to have the expectation of doing anything. It can literally just be, I'm going to now sit here and do nothing in the sun, or I'm going to go on a walk and just observe what's around me. This also includes technology like TV and social media. So turn off the things that don't make you feel good, turn off the things that make you feel stressed and like you should be doing something else. If you're on Instagram and you're feeling really shitty about not being productive and you're seeing all these like motivational posts of people like, you can do it, work hard and push through and you'll be fine, and that makes you feel like shit about yourself because you don't feel like you have the capacity to do that right now, turn that shit off. Don't torture yourself. Don't have that same voice, that mean voice in your head being validated through like other things that are like, you have to do this because that's how I became rich and successful. Woo! Confirmation. Number 4, physical activity. I know when we don't feel like doing anything, sometimes moving our body and actually literally physically doing something is the last thing we want to do. But oftentimes when we're being physically active, it can be a way to let our minds take a break. And we don't have to stress ourselves out or at ourselves. And physical activity or working out doesn't mean you have to push yourself really hard. Physical activity can be as simple as going on a walk or swimming in the ocean at the beach. It could be doing some light yoga. It can be going on a run, or it could be doing intense cardio. It could be stretching, it could be dancing, it could just be literally moving your body just because. That's physical activity. As I said, in terms of changing the environment, physical activity can give us an opportunity to reset our energy. It's good for you, it's easy to consider it to be productive, even if you're not pushing yourself that hard, and it gives you the opportunity to shift your perspective and your mindset in that moment. And even if you come back and feel the need to relax, you know that you did something to help reset yourself, and that can be reassuring. Number 5. Do something creative. As I said, oftentimes when we're in this place of apathy, we don't feel very creative, we don't feel very inspired. And oftentimes that will develop because we associate creativity with, I need to create this great final product. So for example, if you are drawing something thinking, I need to make this exactly perfect and exactly right, you're not going to have a lot of fun doing that. And in fact, you're stressing yourself out in order to create something. But if you create something and draw something simply to do it, that's when I feel like we learn the most creatively. Let me show you something. This is my little art notebook thing. I draw in here, and I've drawn a ton of random things, some of which I find amazing. I love this one, I love this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. I've created some things in this little journal that I am super proud of. And there's a lot of things I created in here where I was just fucking around that are shit. Like this one, and this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Oh, and I also forgot one that wasn't good that I just fucked around with. This one. What the fuck is it? I love it, but like, what is that? It's not even good. But in order for me to make things that I was really proud of, I had to make some things that I wasn't very proud of. When it comes to being creative, do it for fun, do it just because. And especially when you don't feel like doing anything, literally getting a piece of paper and just scribbling on a page without any expectation of what it's going to look like can be a way for you to get your brain active in a way that it's not, and to get you out of this cycle of, oh, why am I not doing anything? I hate myself. Why should I just be here laying here doing nothing? Why am I not doing something? That's not helping anybody. Get yourself out of that process, do something just to do it, no expectation if it's good, and that helps you get into a different headspace. And last but certainly not least, number 6, do nothing. This whole time, you're probably looking for, what thing do I actually want to do when I don't feel like doing anything? And the real answer is, you probably don't want to do anything because you just don't want to do shit. And that's okay. Instead of forcing yourself to do something when you're not ready, let yourself do nothing, and most importantly, love yourself because of it. And if that voice of judgment is persistent and will not stop, which to be honest, it probably won't, then instead of listening to that voice, instead of getting stuck in that loop of just observe what it's saying and use it as an opportunity to learn more about that aspect of yourself that's pushing you to be productive. If you need to lay on the floor and do nothing, then please do. If you need to stare at the ceiling and tell yourself that you're so stressed and so done, then do it. You are allowed to be burnt out, and you do not have to force yourself to do something. In fact, if you do, all you're going to do is build a relationship with yourself where you are resentful towards yourself. When you learn to allow yourself to do nothing, when you learn to be okay with the fact that you're not being what you consider to be productive, then less stress builds up in that moment. And the reason I'm making this video is because this is something that I still work with and struggle with myself. And these are the things that are helping me become more productive and are helping me be okay with the fact that doing nothing is okay. And in a society and in a culture that teaches us that we have to force ourselves to be productive and we have to just push through these feelings, we don't realize that we're building a relationship of resentment with ourselves, and we think that it just has to be that way, and it doesn't. But when you really let yourself do nothing, you learn how to find your center and how to honor what you need. And you start to bridge this gap and create this healthier relationship between the aspect of you that feels like they need to be productive all the time and the aspect of you that feels like they need to relax all the time. When these two start to fuse together, you start to honor both of their needs and not use one to invalidate the other. If you take anything away from this video, it's to be gentle with yourself and to let yourself do nothing. And you know what? Maybe you will fall into a pattern of laziness. That can happen. But hating yourself isn't going to change anything. If that's what you've been doing this whole time, thinking that hating yourself more is going to change the pattern you're already in, you're lying to yourself. It is hard to find the balance with this. It really, really is. But I promise you that it's possible. And I have faith that you can do it. Girlfriend. Quick side note, if doing nothing turns into a meditation, which is like 10 out of 10 awesome, doesn't have to. That meditation can be walking. That meditation can be singing. That medication can be medication. No, don't do drugs. Unless, no. So if you take anything away from this video, it's be kind to yourself and let yourself do nothing because you fucking deserve it, beach. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Shout out to the Fox Tribe on the Patreon page. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for all of your support. I want to turn content creation into a full-time job that can support me. So if you're interested in helping me achieve that goal so I can make even more videos, then support me over there. Great idea, in my humble, very biased opinion. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you're really cool. Thank you guys for being so understanding of videos taking a little longer to come out in this very busy time in my life. I'm so grateful of your guys' support and getting the nice comments and messages that I've been getting. I am so grateful to be able to have this platform, even if I am a little itty bitty spiritual fish. I love you. Thank you.